There is something I can show thee, a morsel, a crumb, a shrew, ha ha! And with that, he grabbed what looked to Rose like some leaves or herbs from pockets around his belt. Then he began scurrying around the wood, collecting bits of shrub, mushroom and spider's webs and crushing them in his hand. To Rose, he looked like a complete lunatic, crawling around on his hands and knees, getting excited about grass and rubbish. Finally, he stood upright, held a pine cone in the air and whispered a big bizarre incantation. Primula veris, speak inside outside, viburnum opulus. Bubbles looked at Rose as if to say, who's this nut job? Sambuca, nigra fructus. Merdyn continued much louder. Then with great fanfare he threw some crushed mixture over the pine cone and held it proudly aloft. Well, thanks for that, said Rose, thinking that was the end of the trick. Very impressive. But Merdyn wasn't finished. He snatched Bubbles from her once again. Rose lashed out with her fists. What are you going to do, try and eat him again? But Merdyn simply held her back by her forehead while she flailed wildly. Cease thy protestations, girl, and listen. Merdyn pressed the pine cone gently against the guinea pig's head. A strange sound began to emerge. At first it sounded like someone was talking on a distant radio. Then it became louder. Intrigued, Rose leaned into the pine cone, and when she did, she could hardly believe her ears. What's happening? Said a tiny voice. Hang on. Why is my voice sounding outside my head? I'm freaking out. I knew this was a mistake. I want to be home in my cage. I want to be home in my cage. Rose's mouth fell open like a goldfish. Whose voice is that? She asked. Why, 'tis thy rat's. 'Tis his inner voice, said Merdyn. Rat? Who are you calling a rat? Complained Bubbles in a voice. I'm so confused. I feel a poo coming on. I'm going to poo. 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 And then, of course, Bubbles did a poo. Rose was astonished. It was Bubbles' voice, all right. This was exactly what she imagined he'd sound like. She looked at the strange, smelly, scruffy man with the bright blue eyes standing in front of her. Okay, she said slowly. So, you're a wizard. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that little reading, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the book. Once again, I'm Simon Farnaby. This is The Wizard, and my shared misadventures of Merdyn the Wild.